Hi there, you're at the Nervos Wyckoff analysis session, and again this week we'll look at where Nervos is both in terms of the weekly time frame as well as the daily. So let's take a quick look. Here we're looking at the weekly, and the rainbow color is basically the resistance and support levels. As of this moment, last week or even the week before, we put in this tag saying or asking, is Nervos at a sign of strength stage, and it looks like it has reached that stage, and then the retracement is currently happening. So I'll take out the question mark. What we're seeing here is for 3 consecutive weeks the price has been suppressed under this resistance level, this orange one, at around 0.007, and this traceback isn't like irregular. A lot of times in Wyckoff cycle, accumulation cycles, after the sign of strength, if we look at what happened in 2023, there were like price retracements. Sometimes it goes a little bit deeper, sometimes it goes shallower and then reaches the point where the backup or last point of support happens, and then where the new distribution cycle happens. So as of this moment, I would say Nervos would likely be somewhere between 50% to maybe even 60% of an accumulation cycle, according to the Wyckoff patterns. So while we say it's normal for some price fluctuations over here, like going down a bit and then coming up for maybe a few rounds. Sometimes it goes quicker, sometimes it gets a little bit more rough for a while, and the price can go even lower than the previous low points as well. So having all these in mind, I'll say the first support level is still the red line over here, the 0.005. The very low bottom would be at 0.0025. That's when we had the selling climax as well as the couple of tests subsequently, both in mid 2022 as well as end of the same year, plus the middle of 2023 till the fourth quarter. So as of now, we're waiting for that to happen, and hopefully we'll be able to see a new distribution cycle end. That means a new buying climax coming sooner, hopefully within this year, but it may go like into early next year, because looking at what happened in 2023 all the way to end early 2024 or end of that year, that took about 300 days. So from that point, so from where we are now, if it happens the same way, 300 days would be middle of next year. So somewhere between now and that point, the new distribution cycle would happen, given all the other conditions met, like macroeconomic environment, the project healthiness, and then blockchain industry development as a whole. So that's the big picture on the bigger time frame. If we go into the daily chart, previously we put in the tag like, has it gone to a buying climax? And it seems it had on 20th Sunday last week. So here it also happened to have a second test just on last Saturday, and now it's coming down from the second test. So let me enlarge it so it's easier for you to see. Here, if I put in the tag here, that was the automatic reaction. That's a normal stage after the buying climax. The price will retreat, and then it goes up to have a second test to see the market demand. So when we have a second test higher than the buying climax, usually we call that an upthrust. But to me, they're all just tests of demand, so you can call it either way. I will take it. So now, then after the upthrust or second test, it's coming down. What does it mean and what it's trying to show us, usually there's a stage called like opposite to what the accumulation cycle is, that's the sign of strength. Distribution cycle has the sign of weakness, so it's a price retracement to a certain level somewhere around the automatic reaction. There may be rebounds from that point to a last point of supply, or maybe even an upwards of the distribution if the market demand is strong. One key thing I noticed this time is these green bars on the days, especially when the price climbed. Interestingly, not only that they were much higher than the buying climax we had in mid-May, they have very long wicks at the head. So that means there are very strong selling from this point, this orange resistance line at 0.007 that we touched on in the beginning. So it seems like if there's no particular positive force or positive news driving these crypto prices up, we might have seen the peak already for this distribution cycle in the daily chart, while the weekly is trying to find a way to get to the new buying climax. So in the weekly, while it's retreating, that's why in the daily we might have seen the peak and it retreats to a new accumulation, waiting for the final leg in the weekly to happen, and in the daily we will see some massive distribution happens as well when that happens in the weekly. So remember, whenever you see long green volume bars, always check the candlestick, what does it look like, because this long wick means quite a bit of selling from above. So that's one key thing. So this, I'll keep a question mark here. After the sign of weakness, there may be a last point of supply. The reason I say maybe because they don't always happen. It's like the lead to peaks after the second test or like upthrust, and if it doesn't, much like what happened in May, after the second test, it eventually dies down to a new accumulation cycle. So